Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, getting over an email that was sent from a subscriber. This is from a guy, he's 29 years old, he is outside the United States, he doesn't say what country he's from, and he's going to share his story about how he started from extremely humble beginnings and went through a lot of painful experiences to eventually becoming an extremely successful guy with a ton of wealth and all that. And this guy's story is an example of truly success is the best revenge. And for many of you guys out there that are working hard on your grind to become the best you can be, whatever that may be in your field or starting a company or growing a company, and let's just say that people have done you wrong in the past, and that has helped ignite a fire in you to push you every day to become the best you can be and make something of yourself, you'll appreciate this story here. And I got to tell you guys that for me personally, that has always been something that has always pushed me. No, whenever I've had people say I couldn't do something or made me feel like less, and believe me, it's happened in my life, particularly my early life, there is no greater thing that pushed me than that. Because being able to be successful and then have them know about it, there's no greater feeling, let me tell you. And everybody's different. Some people respond to that. Other people respond to positive reinforcement. Now, this guy, he's 29, like I said, another part of the world. He doesn't mention where he's from, but so I'm going to get into this, guys, and also you're going to see here how he was burned, no surprise, really bad by, wait for it, former girlfriend. Well, you're going to see here, he truly has the last laugh. So it starts off, he says, "Hi, SSM. I've been watching your videos lately. I hope you can read and share my story as well. I apologize for grammatical mistakes. English is not my first language." All right, bro, well, I'll bear with you. He says, "A little backstory about myself. I'm a 29-year-old man who grew up with a single mom house, very poor, and had no father figure. In school, I wasn't the popular kid. Matter of fact, I was bullied a lot because I was fat, introverted, and had a lack of self-confidence. Not only did I never have success with girls, but I didn't even bother. I was a virgin with no friends or social skills." Now, this is an example, guys, why I've always say how important it is for young guys to have a masculine role model. Preferably a father. But in today's world nowadays, we have more single moms raising the boys than ever. That has been absent, and we can see the ripple effect it has had on our society, and the level of maturity and responsibility of the young kids nowadays, the boys, and how so many, at least here in the West, have been just a big bunch of emotional, sensitive crybabies, thanks to actions by the movement. You know what I mean by the movement. And certain angry ones of the movement pushing that agenda to make boys more like girls and girls more like boys. You know, a single mom can truly do her best. And I've known a lot of ones that were cool and did their best. They can love their kid, provide, do all these things, but it's not the same. They need a guy there. Whether it's a grandfather, uncle, older brother, a strong male role model to help the young guy have guidance in this world. And also I want to point out that usually the moms are softer on the boys. Not all the time, but most of the time they are. So they won't let them. They will let them get away with more crap than they would if the father was there. The father would sometimes give the boys a good kick in the pants to get their butts in line, while the moms might just, "It's okay, he's my little boy." But if it was the daughter, she'd be tearing her a new one if she was getting out of line, and you all know this. So it's so important. And I know I'm interrupting, but I got to make this point clear. So anyhow, his childhood sucked. He says, "In college, I learned how to be invisible and stay away from people. One day I sat next to a girl in class, let's call her Sarah, who was really nice and cool. We started talking and hanging out, and I asked her to be my girlfriend. She said yes. I was a good student, so obviously she agreed, hoping I will help her get the good grades." So I can't tell if you're reflecting on what you know now, or is this something you sensed prior to you becoming boyfriend-girlfriend? But that's exactly what happens, as you're going to see. "But at the time, I was too naive to see, and I'm actually glad I met Sarah because she helped me get out of my comfort zone and pursue my dreams." Okay, a silver lining. Good can come from bad situations. "Growing up as a loner with no friends gives you a lot of free time to ask questions about your purpose in life. I was a car guy, and I always wanted to own supercars when I grew up. When I told Sarah about my ambitions in life, she seemed not interested in me, and she herself had no plans for her future, and she lived like there is no tomorrow." So people in life that live like there's no tomorrow and figure like, hey, you could die at any time, those people, you know where they end up in life? Broke. These are the people that are up to their eyeballs in debt. They have their credit cards maxed out. They have no emergency fund, not two nickels to rub together, and they're always trying to borrow money from somebody else. And I might add, these are usually the types that always feel entitled to a living. They're usually big fans of socialism, that have this provided for or this provided for because they deserve it. Meanwhile, they piss away every dollar they get. I've known people like this, and I have since distanced myself from those types because they're just, on many reasons I can't stand them, but I have no respect for them for many reasons. It's just, and they don't change. So you dodged a bullet with this one here. And I might add that for a guy that's on his purpose and wants to make something of himself in his world, you can't be around with somebody that just figures, I'm going to live for today, and that's that. So, dodged a bullet. Anyway, dating Sarah made me confident, and people started to look at me differently because I was dating a cute girl. I made some friends, and life was really nice. Okay, well, that part was good. You're gaining some self-confidence. Sure, having a cute girl on your arm certainly makes you feel better about yourself. That was until I discovered she was using me to get good grades. She was also cheating on me with another guy who's 10 years older than her. Notice, guys, this is overseas. You know, I tell you all the times that human nature is human nature. Doesn't make a difference where you live, what part of the world. People are people. The things that guys do and what they react to or what motivates them. Same thing all over the world. Same thing with women. Doesn't make a difference. Your religion, how much money you have, your culture, etc., etc. They're the same. However, the worst part was when I learned she was talking shit behind my back and telling everyone how boring and stupid I was. When I confronted her, she told me that I will never make it and I will have a boring life working 9 to 5 because I'm not the bad boy. That was the worst day of my life. How can this innocent-looking girl be so evil? Yeah, well, it's been my life experience that the most innocent-looking ones are the worst. Especially the very short, petite girls. It's always the very petite girls that are actually like the meanest, like the stereotypical mean girl. It's like a defense mechanism they have to have because they're very little. And those very little petite girls always go for these guys that are like 6'5", and they have this mean side to them. It's like unbelievable. But so I know she says all this stuff. You're never going to make something of yourself. You're going to live a boring life. I mean, I'm sure there's more to it than this. Why she said that, or she's just flat out evil, like you said. But this guy could have taken this two ways. He could either just let it wear him down and become nothing of himself, or use that to fuel the drive to succeed. And one day, rub it in the face of other people that told me couldn't do it. He says, since that day, I wanted to prove her wrong more than anything. Aha, now we know his true character. I started searching how to start a company and become rich. Thanks to the power of the internet, you don't need a lot of money to start a business. That is true. Every country is different, obviously. Here in the United States, it's not that hard to start a business, and you don't need a whole lot of money. You just need to have a smartphone that you can research how to start a business in your state, because every state's a little different, but the gist of it is pretty much the same. A little money to invest in whatever you need to get it going, and obviously a set of skills, or something you want to sell or whatever, and you're off. It's not that hard. You just have to have that iron will to succeed. So I dropped out of college because that was a waste of time and moved to another city. And like Gary Vee said, I ate dirt and lived with ex-convicts and drug dealers in a one-bedroom apartment for years. And worked in a restaurant in order to save money for business. Funny enough, my roommates, who were dangerous in the eyes of society, were the nicest people I met. So you're living in the trenches and you're doing what you got to do to scrape money by and get your first business started. He says, it was unhealthy how obsessed with work I was. I detached myself from the world, and with every failure, I kept pushing and pushing until 10 years later, I grew my company from a 0 to an 8-figure business. Awesome, bro. There you go. And the way you said how it was unhealthy how obsessed you were with work, that's because you were a guy on your purpose, a true entrepreneur. Because guys like that, the number one thing they think about when they get up in the morning, and the number one they think about before they go to bed at night, is their business, their purpose, being successful. I lay there at night all the time thinking about what I do here. I wake up in the morning, the first thing I'm thinking about is getting things rolling for the videos and all the other things I'm working on behind the scenes. It's the passion. And that is going to obviously took you far and will continue to take you far. So a lot of people will say it's unhealthy, but when it's your passion, it's your purpose, it's not work. And of course, you got some scores to settle. He continues on. He says, this journey taught me to not really care what others think and live life the way I want. Exactly. You can't care what people think, and you got to do what works best for you. I became really cold with all women because Sarah made me lose trust in women. When I got introduced to the RP movement, I learned that I'm not the only one. Of course, now with the money I have, I date any girl I want, but I always keep it casual. They always try to make a commitment, but I don't fall for their games. Well, dude, after what you've been through, I can understand that. And now that you obviously, he says he has a 8-figure business. Doesn't mean he's worth 8 figures, but the company's doing that type of business, or worth that much. He's got a lot of dough, nevertheless. So you think he's going to trust some average girl that wouldn't give him the time of day when he was younger? Oh, no. He's well aware, and so he can enjoy temporary pleasures, so to speak, but then, that's it. He says here, the girls always try to make me commit, but I don't fall for their games. Don't. Because if these are the gals that wouldn't have given you the time of day when you were younger, why do you think they're giving you the time of day now? Because you're rich and successful. Maybe you've become more confident. Maybe you said when you were younger you were fat. Maybe you lost the weight and you're looking good and dressing well and gained a lot of confidence for your success, and I'm sure you have. But still, remember, they wouldn't give you the time of day when you were younger, so don't trust them. I'm being honest with you, bro. Anyways, I started to forget about the trauma I lived in college, but life had other plans. I was invited to a car rally in the south of France, and I went with some friends to that rally. I've been to the south of France. It's freaking beautiful there, man. In that rally, there were like 150 supercars and hypercars. The organizers rented a castle for all of us, and lo and behold, Sarah was a bartender there. Isn't that interesting? Now, I'll be honest, guys. When I read this guy's story, I was going through it. Okay, but then this part with her showing up later down the road in this place made me kind of, is this real? But life is strange. I've experienced some very strange, call it if you will, coincidences in life, and so you never know. So okay, fine. For the argument's sake, she was there. Sarah, remember, is the girlfriend that was using him and cheating on him and was awful. He says Sarah was the bartender there. I didn't recognize her first, but she did. She first thought I was with the crew of the rally, and when I told her I'm one of the participants, she looked at me like I was lying. She was so arrogant and full of herself, it was repulsing. I excused myself and went as far as possible from her. Well, I'd walk up to the freaking bar with a couple hot models with me and just smile and make her work. That's what I would do. The next day after breakfast, we went to our cars and hit the road. She was outside with a guy smoking. Of course she smokes. When she saw me getting in my car, she was shocked. Her face was full of regret and embarrassment. When I saw her, I remember where I came from and how far you can go in life when you put your mind into it. Yes. Guys, the sky's the limit. We are all masters of our own destiny. If you want to make something of yourself, you can do it. You just have to be willing to just work and keep trying to find something until it works. And you can do it. Are there going to be roadblocks along your journey to get where you want to be? You bet your ass. Are there going to be naysayers and people say that your idea is stupid and you're never going to get there? You can count on it. Are there going to be money problems? Yes. But you keep pushing. And if it's something you love and your passion and whatever it is that motivates you and gets you going every day, use it. And if people say your work ethic is unhealthy and you're obsessed and you got tunnel vision about your purpose, who cares? Are these people happy with their lives? Are they happy with their jobs, with their income, with their money saved, with their families, with their friends, with their bodies? Probably not. So they want misery loves company. They want you to be on board. So whatever it is, make it happen. He says, a few weeks later, she sent me a direct message saying, hey, I didn't even answer that and I ignored her. Good. She kept sending me DMs all over social media and saying how she misses me. I blocked her, hoping she would get the message that I'm not interested. Good. You can have a little fun with her, maybe sending a picture of you and some way better looking woman than her, because she's probably, given the fact that she's older and she smokes, she probably doesn't look as good. But good. I'm glad you didn't try to converse with her. I've done stories where guys have been successful and the girl reaches out to them later in time and they then talk to them. He says, when I saw her at the castle, I realized how ugly she was, and I was ashamed that I even dated such a thing. That was honestly the worst mistake in my life. And to think that girls like her have the audacity to play hard to get is beyond me. Yeah, but you know what? That experience helped you get out of your shell for a little bit. It gave you some confidence to go for what you wanted. And then by her hurting you like that and burning you like that, even though it made you feel embarrassed and your heart was ripped out and all that, it lit a fire into you to go after your purpose and have drive and ambition. So that bad experience, which you said was the worst day of your life at the time, and one could argue was the best day of your life. You gotta look at it like that, guys. I've had times in my life, believe me, there were hardships, but I got through them and looked back at the path it put me on to bettering myself. I look back, it's like, and one day was the worst day of my life, but on the other hand, it was actually the best day because I took action. I wasn't a victim. I pushed forward. That's what I want you guys to do. He says, I hope that guys can learn from my experience and put their time and effort into something beneficial. Everyone I knew in college and high school was busy trying to fit in, and now all of them are married with kids, barely making it. They used to laugh at me, but now they send me friend requests and DMs pretending to be old friends. Yes, most people are miserable. I look at a lot of people I went to high school with. Every great once in a while, I'm off Facebook now. I deactivated my account, but about once a year, I had a couple people I'm connected with, a couple girls, one girl I went to church with, and one of my buddies from high school. That's it. And I can see, you look on Facebook at like who they're friends with. I can see all these people from high school, and you just find one person that's connected to everybody in town, and you can look at them, and it's like, oh my God, their lives in that small town, which most people didn't leave, I might add, but I left. Compared to my life now, it's night and day. And I'm working hard every day to make my life better and better and better. So yeah, it's great to look back and be like, you know what? I wasn't cool. I was left out. I was made fun of. I was picked on. But now look at me now. Ha ha ha, motherfuckers. It's a good feeling. But it doesn't mean you got to go around full of hate and anger. But just it's very satisfying for your younger self that was hurting when you were younger. He says, thank you, man, for reading my story. And I hope you can share it with the rest. Well, you're welcome, bro. And I'm very happy that you're doing great. And I want you to keep pressing forward. And I'm going to email you because I want to know what kind of work you're in. I think that's badass. I think good for you, dude. So just keep doing what you're doing. And if you find maybe, again, when it comes to the ladies, temporary pleasures, if you will, but I would be very skeptical because, and I'm sure you are, given how they were to you in the past and how they are in the future when you have done so well for yourself. Just be careful there. And keep grinding, dude. And who knows where you may end up. I think that's awesome. Maybe one day, I just hope one day you can mentor somebody, a younger version of yourself, and help him out to becoming successful as well, because you got a lot to teach. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Guys, in the comment section, for any of you guys that had a similar past where you were burned and that you use that to push you forward to become successful and get you going, I like to hear about it because a lot of people, they're struggling. And they hear stories about people who've been through hardships or whatever it was that got them going to find their path to success. Because for a lot of people, guys, it takes just that one thing. That one moment that says, that's it, I'm done this bullshit, I don't like the station of life I'm in, or whatever it is, and there's no stopping them. That's what I want you guys to find that thing that gets you motivated, find that thing that you can have passion for, and go for it. And the sky's the limit as long as you're willing to put in the time and not give up. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.